Good evening everyone, this is a review by Redshift, aka Elite, doing a quick overview of the Yaesu FT-7900R, and here it is. As I've stated in the review, you can separate the head unit from the main body, which is exactly what I've got here. I bought mine with the separation kit. It's certainly got plenty of length on it for you to be able to put it wherever needed really. I'm assuming the length is obviously for a vehicle. I do know a few people have got this model installed in a vehicle and it looks exceptionally neat and tidy. Very convenient size, easy to use, one-handed operation, and obviously the same for myself. I've just got it attached to a small MFJ external speaker. That's the unit itself. To give a bit of context, that's it there. As you can see, compared to a keyboard on my own hand, it's very, very small. Against the wall, as you can see, the unit it comes with that you actually fix to whatever it is you're wanting to mount it to, and then the front just clips in. It's very neat and tidy once it's done, and obviously mic just sits on the wall out of the way. The actual unit itself, I'll just pull back, is this unit here. Again, I've got another speaker on top of that there, but there's your extension cable for the head unit. Try and see if we can see it's a bit clearer. Very small unit. It's just a ATU on the top then, LDG one. And this is much smaller, neater. Try and go around the back. You can see, move that out of the way. That's where it's plugged in. Obviously it needs an adapter for a PL259 plug, which it does come with, so there's no problem there. And then there's your power lead that runs off. Again, there's another good length on that. With built-in fuses in it as well, which is always a good extra feature. There's a fan pre-fitted on the back here onto the heatsink. It does kick in every now and again. I've had some long QSOs and it does kick in, but it's extremely quiet, and I can't say I've ever noticed it compared to say this next to it is the 450D Yaesu, which I'll do another review on another time. Much bigger fan, 90mm fan on the back of that heatsink there. And if you can see them all compared, 450Ds are quite a small unit anyway. It's not a big unit by any means. As you can see, the Yaesu next to it with the front off is barely noticeable compared to everything else. And I've just got it plugged in to a small power supply down here. Nothing different about that, nothing special about that. It just plugs straight in, literally just connect up to your aerial, and then you're pretty much ready to go. Obviously you can leave the front on it if needed, but I thought it was much neater to have it on the wall here, and I can actually sit on the PC and just easily pick up the mic, talk to whoever you want with the head unit there. Actual unit itself, said very neat and tidy, but some people may not like how heavily menu driven it is. I can't say after, it does take a bit of you getting used to, but once you do get used to it manually, it is very, very easy. Doing some of the tagging, as you can see, I've just got 2 meter call channel, which is obviously, if we go down, the rest of them just got the frequency channels in for 2 meters, same for 70 centimeters, and obviously I've just put there so I know when I'm on. 145/500, saws up to 6 characters. But when you're entering the characters, you're using this main knob here to, as you would turn around to cycle through, obviously the alphabet for the letters. It does take a while if you're doing a lot of tags, so it can get tedious, and if you're putting in a lot of frequencies like I was at first. But you do get used to it, and as I said in the review, I've got this little program here. Probably won't show up very well on the video. A little piece of software you can get there's a few on the net, but if you search them up, they're all basically the same thing. It's basically just an Excel spreadsheet, and you can go on here. It reads from the radio. Obviously, if you had nothing on the radio to start, you'd be doing it backwards. And then you just literally type in all the frequencies, what power you want them to be, any tones for repeaters. So if you've got a list of repeaters and frequencies, doing it on here is much easier. Once you get the hang of that, it's absolutely no problem whatsoever. Very easy. The radio, I believe you have to switch it off first. And a hidden menu, if you've got the megahertz and priority button over here, if you hold that in and then press the power button, there, and you've got the different modes on here that you can go through. Number 7, and that's your clone, and that's a feature you use to transfer frequencies, memories from here to the PC, or from the PC to here. So I do recommend doing it manually and learning how to program and use all the buttons yourself. So if you're out and about with the radio or mobile, you do know how to change a frequency or a different tone, or you're away with a new repeater and you get the frequency, you'll need to know how to put it in manually. So best to do it on here first, and then once you've got the hang of it, I'd recommend doing it on the PC to just make it a lot easier. Let's turn it back on again, normal. That's it, nice and quick to turn on. 2-meter call. Go through some of the frequencies, and it is a bit late at night when I'm doing this, so there's not as much on, but as I said, straight on to different ones there. And if you go saying on something you've tagged like that, you can actually, well, that's going off your memories now, that's just what I had it on last, but that's what you'll use to just search through the frequencies. You can just leave it scanning on there and it'll just scan up and down until it finds something, unless you've already got most of the frequencies, which we have around here. Change any of the memories you need. I don't know how many I've got on here now, that's 24. I can't actually remember how many I've got on here now, but you can change the powers. As I said, if you do it on the PC or when you program it manually, you can put in what mode you want it to be, AM, FM, etc. And then you put in the power levels, which is, if you're on restricted power as such, you'll need it. So you've got the high, which will be 50 watts, then your medium 2, and then low. Mine all set on 10 watts. I can go up to 50, but there's no need. A lot of people talk to me around here, it's just so close, it's just it's not needed at all, to be honest. And obviously if you press your band and set button there, it'll tell you what frequency the actual tag you're looking at's on, which is, in case you forget what frequency you're on, you can tell. Obviously I haven't put tags on the rest of them, I've just put the frequencies. All the repeaters and such do have the tags in. So if you press scan while you're in memory mode, it'll just scan through all your memories nice and quick. There's just some airband frequencies there. How many have we got in there? About 120 odd. And it'll just keep cycling through all of them until something breaks a squelch, and it'll stop. And then I have had, I've got a handheld unit that does, obviously a lot of these do the same anyway, but when it's scanning, it picks something up, it stops, and then it'll stop completely. And you have to actually physically press scan again for it to carry on, which does get really annoying. On here though, as soon as it finds something, it stops, and it'll stay on there until whoever or whatever unkeys, and then it'll carry on scanning again, which I think's a small feature, but in practice it's very handy. If you're doing stuff and you're leaving it scanning through like I usually do like this, it'll just it'll get a hit whenever it picks them up and just carry on when it's finished, like that. I don't think there's many people around here at the moment, but it's surprising with some of the things I've got programmed on here, marine, airbands and such, there's always something that it picks up, and it picks it up really well and really clear. It does beat the hell out of some of the scanners I have had. So just as a receiver, it's worth it, to be honest. Even if you haven't got a license, you can use it just to listen, but obviously best to get your license and then you can do both. In practice it's a really nice radio to use, nice and simple, and see how well it picks up some things, and you can tell the difference straight away when something's closer and a lot stronger to you.
124.825 channel 619.
Of course, all the airbands, it's absolutely superb. I'd say the receiving end on this is just outstanding. Up there with some some of the bigger radios I've had, and ICOMs for the 2 and 70 centimeters. Obviously there's some things that you can pick up that you're not supposed to talk back on, but you can always listen, and this does that really well. And all the audio reports, and I know about 3 or 4 people have got these now. All of them are going flawless. They really are. Great little unit. As I said, they are a bit more expensive than some of the more basic ones you can get, but if you want it for a mobile use, you're not going to get much smaller, neater, and easier to use than this. So once you get the hang of it, it's programmed in. It's a hard one to beat, and obviously with the mic you can do everything you need to on the mic one-handed while you're driving, and if you use it like me, just on the wall like it is there, the actual bass unit's back there out the way, and just for talking around locally and listening, which is what this is for, you don't really need to use half the buttons and knobs on it. It's just the one knob to turn you scanning backwards and forward, and just stop when you're actually wanting to talk to somebody on a frequency, and then away you go. And that's about it. So that's just my short video review to go with the written review I've put, and I hope it's been useful for someone. Anyone has any comments or actually want to know anything a bit more technical about it, and say there's so many reviews about this radio and about all the reviews I'm going to be doing, so I don't really want to go completely in depth doing the technical side of it, because there's more experience and better people to get that off. But as an actual review, I just wanted to do a comparison so you can actually see in situ, like it is there, how it can be set up and how the unit itself sits, so you can see what it's like actually in practice when you've got it installed, and what it actually looks like. And it's I've never looked back on buying it. I've been pleased with it, and it was well worth the money. A bit more expensive, as I say, but if you can get it, I would certainly recommend paying that little bit extra, because the quality and the actual use when you get using the radio is definitely worth it, and it definitely shows. Apart from the software not being included, so you can program the radio, as I've said, but that's something you can get quite cheaply, or like I've done for some people, I've bought it and I can someone else can bring their rig round to me and I can plug it in and upload or download frequencies to and from the radio on my PC for them. So it's a good way of sharing frequencies between people, if you know a few other people that are into this hobby. So for now, that's it for me, and that'll do my review. Catch everybody soon.